For years, people were taught that success meant doing everything alone. Buy your own house, build your own life, protect only your own family. But as prices rise, land becomes more expensive, the economic uncertainty grows, and many people are starting to realize something important. The future may belong to communities, not individuals. Because one person struggling alone may never afford land, but 6 to 8 like-minded individual people working together, that changes everything. And maybe one of the smartest things families and communities can do right now is stop thinking individually and start building collectively. Peace, I'm the Modest Prepper, where we make it halal pantry easy. Now, land has always been valuable, but today many people are starting to see land differently. Not just as property, but as security, stability, legacy, freedom. A place to grow food, a place to build, a place your children and grandchildren may one day depend on. And in uncertain times, people naturally begin looking for things that hold long-term value. And unlike many temporary possessions, land can outlive us. Land becomes something future generations can inherit and improve and benefit from long after we're gone. But the problem is, many people say, I can't afford it. But maybe the real question should be, why are we trying to do everything alone? Because one thing holds true, they're not making any more land. That's it. But we can get it if we just pool our resources. Suddenly, land that once seemed impossible becomes realistic. This is how communities historically survive. Families pooled resources, communities built together. And people shared responsibility instead of carrying everything alone. And today, many people have been conditioned to think individually. But unity, that creates more buying power. Unity creates opportunity. Unity creates resilience. And instead of one person trying to carry the full burden, multiple families can divide costs on land purchase, surveying, site testing, perk tests, utilities, fencing, water access, road access, taxes. You get the point. And these things, it becomes more manageable when multiple people contribute together. Because one person paying thousands of dollars, it feels overwhelming, especially in this economy, even if you're so-called comfortable. But several people contributing together, now that becomes possible. And that's one thing that we have learned personally by coming together with 8 like-minded individuals. It's a most beautiful and freeing thing. But this is what people should know before buying land together. Of course, wisdom matters. Buying land together should never be careless. It should be organized, transparent, and built on trust. People should discuss the shared goals, legal ownership structures, responsibilities, long-term vision, and financial expectations. And before purchasing the land, the important steps include making sure you have an LLC, making sure you have a bank account, making sure you have an operating agreement, and discuss what it is you want to do. What is the purpose of this land, so that way everyone is on the same terms. Also, what happens if a person of the group dies? How does that land ownership pass on? Those things. Those items are very important even before you begin to purchase land. And you want to make sure you can trust everybody that is in that group. Make sure everyone has clear intentions. And don't leave it to just verbal. Make sure everything is documented, have contracts. Because that is important. That's what we have to stick by. So no matter if any disagreement occurs or any frustration occurs, because it will happen. I mean, nothing worth having is going to be easy. But you have something legal, something that's written up, so that way you all can fall back on. And also, before purchasing land, some important steps include surveying the land, checking zoning laws, completing perk tests, or seeing if it's already a perk test done, understanding water access. Is there water on the land? Making sure the land is actually usable for the vision that you and the others have. This is why having multiple contributors can help so much. Because what one person may be strong at, another person may not be, and vice versa. You can all bring your skills together. Because development costs are often larger than people expect, and we definitely found that out. But shared effort makes difficult goals achievable. And when people come together with sincerity and trust, they can build something that is much bigger than themselves. So why does community matter more in the future? One of the biggest problems in modern society is isolation. People live close together but barely know each other. Communities are weaker, families are fragmented, and too many people are trying to survive difficult times alone. But history shows us something powerful. Communities survive hardship way better than isolated individuals. And I hear people say, well, I have this. If anything happens, I have my food, I have this, and I have a gun, and I have weapons. And you may find that's necessary. But if you're by yourself, what happens if it's only 4 people in a home? Somebody breaks a leg. Somebody gets a dental infection. One person gets sick. The smaller amount of people that you have, the more vulnerable you can become. And history showed us something powerful. Communities survive hardship better than isolated individuals. Strong communities share knowledge, they share protection, resources, they share labor and wisdom. And most importantly, they share support. And there's strength in unity, especially when people are aligned spiritually, morally, financially. And then buying land together is not just about property. It's about building stability together, building a vision together, building a legacy together. So that leads me to my next point. We have to have a different way of thinking about wealth. Modern culture often teaches people to chase appearances, bigger cars, bigger debt, bigger distractions, but real wealth may not look the way society describes it. Real wealth could be clean land, strong relationships, useful skills, food security, peace of mind. And that's one thing, you cannot buy peace of mind. So many people are searching for that in their life, even people who may have a lot of money, but lack peace of mind and lack trusted people around you. Sometimes the greatest investment is not something flashy. Sometimes it's about building something quietly, patiently, and collectively. Something that may benefit generations long after we're gone. Because we're all on borrowed time. We all have an expiration date. None of us is here forever. But purpose, that's what we have to find out. What are we here for? To contribute. So that way we're just a small piece of the major puzzle. So why not use the gifts and talents that we have to build something greater than us? And maybe the future will force people to rethink independence. Maybe survival was never supposed to be completely individual. Maybe communities were always meant to build together. Because when people unite with wisdom, trust, and purpose, small contributions can become powerful opportunities. One person may struggle alone, but together, people can build land, stability, community, and legacy. And the real question is, what could happen if families and communities stop saying, I can't afford it, and start asking, what can we build together? How can we afford it? How can we get this land? Start thinking, how can we get it done? And I promise you, with patience, guidance, and being intentional, we can do anything we put our minds to. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. What have you done to build land? Do you even consider it an option? And what have you done that can help each other as far as building land ownership, self-reliance, and just building and preparing based on preparation, based on wisdom, not fear. So please like, subscribe, and share. And as always, this is a Modest Prepper reminding you to take care, stay grateful, and prep with intention.